Some people just don't have the time to cook one meal per day, let alone multiple meals per day. That's why in today's video, we'll explore 4 meals totaling just 1,800 calories, each requiring just a couple of minutes of your time to make. They can seamlessly integrate into your calorie goals, not only helping you lose weight, but make the process of dieting effortless. Let's get into it. One thing I am not a fan of in the morning is having to make a meal. I want something as quick as possible, not only because I want to get my day started and get to work, but because I'm really not that hungry, so I'm not picky. I don't even really want to eat in the first place. I'm really only doing it to get muscle building going first thing in the morning. With that being said, I'm also posting 2 videos a week this month, or at least I'm trying to. I don't really have time as it is, and trying to do 2 videos a week makes me really have no time. So today, we are going to bust out one of the classics that may seem obvious to most people. However, when I first showed this, people were like, holy shit, I'm gonna use that now, and that's a game changer. So, bowl, scale. You might think I'm crazy, but cereal. I'm using this cereal because these are cutting calories. When I'm cutting, I will save and cut corners as long as there's still flavor there. It's not gonna be as flavorful as something like this, but if I could still get 80% or better, I will go with this brand. If you do have more calories, use a regular cereal. Why the hell not? I really like this cinnamon version because it tastes like apple cinnamon Cheerios. I used to have those all the time as a kid, and this is very similar in taste. For the calories and the macros, you can't beat it. This has 130 calories, 2 fat, 20 carb, and 8 protein per serving. And we're gonna use about a serving and a third of this. All right, so we got 45 grams going right into there. Now I make this easier by using a shaker cup. You can definitely pour it right into the bowl and like try to whisk it or like mix it with a spoon before you add the cereal. But I would much rather just use this, wash it out real quick. Oh, I'm not fucking eating that, you dummy. You big dummy. So we got high protein milk. The one from H-E-B is a little bit cheaper. You get a full half gallon. This has 80 calories, 13 protein. Most of you probably already know it, but this has been a staple in my diet from Fairlife to this one for the last like 5-6 years. And we're going to add 300 grams to our shaker bottle. Now you definitely want a vanilla whey protein. You don't want it to be cinnamon. Oh, actually cinnamon would work here pretty well, but you want to mimic cereal as best you can, and that's a vanilla protein. And the other thing is, you don't want to put too much of it. Some people I see putting like a scoop in only like 6 ounces of milk. It's gonna taste too much like protein. Like I'm really trying to make this taste as much like real cereal as I can. Whey casein also makes it too thick, so definitely make sure it's a whey protein. I'm gonna use 3/4 scoop, and for me that's about 24 grams. Give this a quick mix, and we'll pour it just like we're pouring it out of the half gallon. And you might think I'm crazy for this. However, if you haven't tried this, I highly suggest you try it. The macros on this is just insane. People are like, oh, cereal's too much. You're gonna have like 1,000 calories to start your day. Sure, if you have multiple bowls of this, but if you have multiple bowls of this, you'll also get 100 grams of protein in your first meal. For this meal, we have 363 calories, 4 fat, 34 carb, and 47 protein. You can't beat it for having a fat bowl of cereal. This is gonna fill me up perfectly because I'm not too hungry. I'm gonna devour this, get to work, and I'll see you for our pre-workout meal, meal 2. I am heading to the gym in about an hour, so I wanna get a quick and easy meal in. Since I've been trying to post 2 videos per week, I haven't had as much time to cook as I have wanted to. That is where meal number 2 comes in, as well as the sponsor of this video, Factor. Factor makes your meal planning simple by delivering meals to your doorstep that are fresh, never frozen, and dietitian approved. I got the Protein Plus plan because, you know, muscle building, and each have a minimum of 30 grams of protein, but most of the ones I ordered have 40 grams.
Last night I had the garlic mushroom chicken and it was phenomenal. I think my favorite part about Factor is that there's literally no thinking involved. It shows up at my door, I log it into my calories, heat it up, and eat it. No dishes to do, and my weight loss goals aren't affected. So today we are making their creamed corn chicken. And let me show you how easy this is. Pull coals, heat for 2 minutes, and stir. I'm gonna put this on a plate just to show you that this literally looks like a restaurant quality meal and tastes like a restaurant quality meal for a fraction of the price. I mean, look at that. Come on. Come on. Now I gotta try it to confirm it tastes like a restaurant quality meal. Yeah. After my code, each meal is less than $7, and between the time you make a grocery list, go shopping, go home, and make the actual meal and a side dish, the convenience is worth every penny. Not to mention, you don't eat the same thing every day. You can have a different meal each day, so the variety is endless. If you want to make your life easier like I made my life easier, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code E4CM50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. Again, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code E4CM50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. Thank you, Factor. I'm gonna finish this real quick so I can head to the gym, but in our meal we have 540 calories, 23 grams of fat, 42 grams of carbs, and 40 grams of protein. I'll see you after the gym for meal 3. Just got home from the gym and I wanna eat in about 2, maybe 3 hours, probably 2 hours, and that's exactly how much time our dough needs to rise. So I'm just gonna take one of my doughs, put it there, and I let it chill. This is a brand new $1 meal prep that just came out a couple days ago. The biggest bonus of this meal prep, it takes less than 5 minutes to make. And then all you gotta do is throw it in the oven. Come on. I already started the oven because this comes together so damn fast. And I'm sure you're saying, yes, Nick, but you had to like prep it at some point, like it's not that easy. Yes, there's gonna be some things that you have to prep that are gonna last you throughout the week. 20 minutes of work. And on top of that, I have it to where you can either freeze the dough and save it for months, or you can make multiple pizza pot pies at the same time, only costing a little over $1 a piece, and freeze them. And when you wanna eat, you throw them in the preheated oven and they're ready to go, which were already in my cookbook a week ago, multiple days before it was ever uploaded to YouTube. And they've had access first and have already been making this $1 pizza pot pie meal prep. So highly recommend that you check out my cookbook if you haven't, if you want future recipes early and every single recipe I have in one place, AKA in your pocket, which is exactly what I'm gonna do to make this recipe. And it comes together less than 5 minutes. So easy. All right, we'll give a quick spray. And the first part that makes this so easy is that the first ingredient is pre-sliced mozzarella. This one doesn't have the anti-caking agent on it, and this was actually cheaper than the brick of cheese that I would have to pre-shred myself. About 65 grams, and we do this in reverse order since this is going in the bowl, because when we flip it, it's gonna be the right side, crust, sauce, then cheese. Oh, this is perfect. Then we got 40 grams of our pre-shredded cheese. Again, I like to always have this on hand. I use cheese so much, and this fat-free cheese is 40 calories for 9 grams of protein, which is unreal. You just gotta find the perfect balance of part fat cheese and fat-free cheese, because all fat-free cheese by itself really isn't flavorful. Even with the one that you shred the whole brick by itself and it has no caking agent on it, which is always what I buy, it's just not that flavorful. Fat equals flavor. Next up, we got our sauce. So we got 65 grams of that. Easy as pie. This dough is about 5 days old. Some people may be like, oh, 5 days is too much. I think 5 days, it's It's got that perfect alcohol-y smell. I think 5 days is great, to be honest. It's definitely lost some of its structure, but the flavor you're gonna get from this is like pot pie flavor. That's like what you want. So every day of the week that this sits in the fridge, this dough just gets more flavor. And I absolutely adore it. So I welcome this 5-day-old dough that some people be like, that's flavor, baby. Now, I'm letting gravity do all the work. Why do we have to do the work? And it's big enough to go over. Our pot pie is just about ready to go. Last thing we gotta do, hardest part about this recipe is being an artist. Why do I say being an artist? Because we are literally going to take a brush with our melted butter, which is gonna melt in about 20 seconds. And we are going to literally baste this bad boy in butter. Oh, butter's so many calories, you can't do that. It's 3 grams of butter. Not only are we going to add flavor, but we are going to add brownness. This is just an incredible recipe, and I highly recommend it. All right, perfect timing. That just went off. I'm talking too much. This only took me, I don't know, 4 minutes tops. If I wasn't like recording and trying to get different angles, this would have taken me 3 minutes. And you could have prepped another one of these, ate one of them, freeze the other one. Next day, Josh, run that frozen time lapse. Next day, it bubbles right back up in the oven. It's like 9 out of 10 as good as when you first make it. And for the ease of just literally whipping that Frisbee into the preheated oven and being able to cook it, well worth it. I say use a tray in the instructions, but you know, I live life on the edge here. And I'm gonna go lay on the couch. In 15 minutes, I will have dinner and we'll eat together.
I am a horrible liar because we're not actually done yet. We still have one more step. Gotta get a little bit of aluminum foil on this bad boy. And we'll give her a flipperoonie. Sometimes the butter helps loosen up the crust, but we're buttering this crust regardless. We're taking whatever remnants we have from the 3 grams that we used earlier, and we're rubbing these on the outside. Why? We counted them in our calories anyway, so who cares? Now we use the same spoon we used for the sauce earlier, and we're just loosening up this dough. See how the butter kind of loosens it up? And again, be careful. The pot pie usually is gonna crack in some place. Now what we do, we throw this back in under the broiler on high for 2 minutes. This is gonna take our cheese from white and melted, tastes pretty good, to brown and succulent and insanely mouth-wateringly great.
Now you definitely gotta be watching the pot pie when it's under the broiler. Everyone's broiler is different. Some have a flame, some have like a heating element, some are gonna be super close to the food, some aren't. Mine takes about 2 minutes for it to become brown and beautiful. And, oh my God, yes! All right, we have done 4 minutes of work and we have about a pound's worth of food sitting right in front of us because we planned a little bit ahead. Don't sleep on this recipe like a lot of people did. It almost took a year for this recipe to take off. Since I'm super fancy, I'm gonna take this pot pie, just throw it, just throw it right in. Look at that cheese. Oh my God. Good boy. You like pizza too? Yeah. Now this is the only pizza, and I mean the only pizza, which you can eat with a knife and a fork, and I'll still respect you as a man. I'm not gonna put this in my mouth because I'm gonna burn the shit out of that. But I can guarantee you it's delicious. I need to get my ass off this camera so I can eat. In this meal, we have 585 calories, 17 fat, 69 carb, and 41 protein. This wouldn't be the Exercise for Cheat Meals channel without dessert, without a little bit of cream. So I will see you for meal 4. We're about to have a f***ing cream, baby. Let's go. We never skip the cream in this house. Doesn't matter what time of day. Sometimes I cream in the morning, sometimes I cream in the afternoon, sometimes I cream. Today, we're having a vanilla-based creamy, the better version, with a twist to make it even better for minimal calories. Now, because of the recent recipes that I've had to test over and over and over, and because it's kind of cold outside, I haven't really batch made any creamies. But yesterday, I went ahead and I batch made a bunch of different creamy recipes so I can have them on hand. And what I love about them is once they're batch made, they could be in the freezer for literally months and be just as good 4 months later. And each cream takes less than 5 minutes to make and then put in the freezer. I was trying to decide if I want to make chocolate or vanilla, but with the mix-ins that we're using today and the toppings that we're using today, we're gonna go with vanilla. All right, so we're gonna turn this ice cream from this frozen foamy mess into something absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, I haven't made this in a while, so I actually need to check my cookbook because every single one of my creamy recipes has a different setting that I make it on, how many spins that I do. Everything's different, so I do gotta go back and check. We're gonna do some mix-ins. What are those mix-ins? First one is my protein Rice Krispie treats that I just came out with at this point a week or two ago, and they are a hit. They have over 100,000 views in the first 2 days, and everyone that is commenting on them says that these are their new favorite recipe. Again, on the channel and in the cookbook. I wanna see how the Rice Krispies do as a mix-in. I think it possibly could be super good, but we're only gonna use a half a one. Now what we wanna do is get a piece of this, and I'm not gonna put all of it in here. I'm curious how this breaks up with the spinner, but I have some other mix-ins that we're gonna do in a second. So while that's respinning, I am also going to weigh out 5 grams of peanut butter and heat it up in the microwave for about 30 seconds. So we want it nice and melty. And people, remember to always weigh this out. Look how little 5 grams is, but it's gonna go a long way once it's melted and we're drizzling it. Last thing is, we showed this earlier, peanut butter crunch. We're gonna do 5 grams of that too. It's gonna add a perfect topping layer that in almost all the bites, you're gonna get some. We'll respin this and then we will get to eating. Oh no, shit. We will do the mix-in setting. See, I almost mess it up sometimes too. Ooh, that Rice Krispies in there jumping around. All right, this will tell us, is this done or not? Oh yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh my God, yes. God, I miss the creamy. Every time I don't have one of these for a while, a couple weeks, and I have one again, I'm like, holy f***, it's good. I mean, what are we talking about? Like, there's nothing to even talk about. Look how perfect that is. You don't know how many DMs I get with people so stoked that this was like the best $200 investment that they ever made. All right, our peanut butter's melted. Again, this is only 5 grams or like 25 calories, something like that. Very similar to the butter with the pot pie. It's very little calories, but it's going to add a shit ton of flavor. Bigger chunks of the Rice Krispie treat in here. For the rest of these, I'm gonna break it up. All right, let's try this though. This is the first time I've ever tried this. I was worried the Rice Krispie treat was gonna get too hard because it is like thicker. But no, it tastes great. For a full pint of ice cream with all of the toppings, we have 326 calories, 31 protein, 73 carb, and 9 fat. On the day, I don't want to mess this up. I messed this up last time. We have 1,815 calories, 53 grams of fat, 219 grams of carbs, and 158 grams of protein. That's me easily losing 2 pounds per week. And I ate everything I wanted today. We really only need 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. So for me, that would be about 160 grams, and I'm at 158, so I'm happy. And today, we got to eat cereal, creamy garlic mushroom chicken and potatoes, pizza pot pies with butter wrapped or butter smothered all over it, and a pint of ice cream. Nothing else needs to be said. If you want to see another full day of eating for fat loss, that includes my $1 pizza meal prep and other great meals as well, check out this video here. Until next time, deuces.